Sorry, can't speak today. Not feeling quite like it. Oh, and I'm trying this. To have better sound so I can speak really, really low like I like it. And sometimes I do like screaming, but I don't feel yet very comfy in this channel to do that. Look, a Santa hat. I was using this Santa hat to put the phone over there in that table. What you came here for is for this bad boy. The Creta color pastel pencils. So the Creta colors are basically dry pastels, soft pastels, however you wanna name them. And I'm gonna try them today. This is just the box. I bought them for 30 bucks. I have deceived you. I have lied to you. I already tried these pencils before. I have drawn with them 2 times. Once it was for the old man. I have another video about that. But let me start from the beginning. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Let me start from the beginning. I bought them so I can make detail. Because when you use oil pastel, you can make a lot of detail. Everybody knows that within the oil pastel community. And without making any detail, some things are impossible, like drawing eyes. In my case, I'm not very good with eyes. And I really, really wanted to figure out some way to make detail. And one of them is with these pens. So here I have the body boys. Let's open them up. And the first thing you will see is a bunch of instructions promoting other products. I don't know what's this. And sandpaper. They give you sandpaper to this is quite an effort with one hand. Sandpaper the pencils instead of sharpening them with either a box cutter or a, normal sharpened pencil. Sorry, when I'm tired, I don't know English. I forget English and Spanish. But anyways, like you have seen, I already did 2 colors, and that's the one thing that I noticed, that when you try to sharpen any colors, you need to do it, each one on its space, so you don't have to mix the colors together while you're sanding them. It comes in a 12 set with this plastic bag. And I remember then the first time that I used them was in the other video, and that I have a complaint that this plastic thingy is way too thin compared to other soft pastels and oil pastels, and that will make the pens move too much inside the tin. I'm suspecting, for now, since I keep the plastic, they don't sound like they move too much. So let's see a little bit on the details of each pencil. Each pencil have a name: Fine Art Pastel, Austria, and a code, and they say bluish purple, a number. I don't really care about all that, to be honest. The color, I just like that the color that I see in the outside plastic thing is the same color that I see on the tip of it, because it's more satisfactory. Like this one is not really satisfactory. This yellow looks different than this yellow. No satisfactory enough. And I'm wearing a non texture paper right now. It's a non-special paper. So let's do some swatches. So as you can see, the colors perform excellent, even though this paper is like a lame paper that I own. Not texture or anything special in this paper, and they look amazing, very very vibrant. And some colors perform better than others, like in any set. Like for example the green, the forest green or whatever, perform very underwhelming. The blue too, compare for example to the red and oranges. Now for some reason in the set I have 2 oranges instead of and just 1 lavender. I love lavender, so I'm grateful for that. I don't really like the idea of having 2 oranges instead of 1 pink and 1 lavender, but for being 12 colors is really nice. And as you can see, I didn't use the white because of obvious reasons, but I'm gonna draw white on top of this black and we will see the result of how this white performs. I'm applying here a lot of pressure. The book is moving. Now let's go with softer pressure. Got a little bit stain, but let's try and put it over other colors. But it's working exactly like normal soft pastels you would expect to. Now what I can see is that it went a little bit brownish. You know, I did not have it contaminated with other color before I did this. It was clean. And some grays or blacks go brown when you mix it with white, so this is not surprising to see. Now, since these are soft pastels, everybody's wondering the question, you know, how they mix with the fingers. So let's go with Mr. Blue. I'm applying again a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure. And as you can see, it performs exactly what would you expect from a soft pastel. Also, they have a lot of fallout, as you can see everywhere. So you're gonna stain your fingers and hands a lot by doing this. Now let's go ahead with some mixing. I'm gonna mix the rest of the colors with random colors and see how do they go with that type of mixing. Now, as you can see, I have a substantial amount of fallout, so that's the only bad thing about soft pastels, because I either need a vacuum to clean this up without any cross-contamination, let's call it, or I can just tap it in the sink of my bathroom. Be right back. Now, as you can appreciate, wherever I put the pencils to rest, I, fills with color. This happens when you tap it. It's a lot of chaos. It's a lot of chaos. This is why I only do details with soft pastels. Also, the mixing turned out pretty good. At some points I have to add a lot of pressure, then soft pressure, then a lot of pressure back again, then soft pressure back again. And they look very vibrant and really, really beautiful. I like them a lot. Now, I think the last test that I owe myself to do is the sharpening. Some of them are immediately dull after this experiment. For example, Mr. White suffered a lot. So let's sharpen them and let's see how it goes. Now you'll be wondering, how do I do it to get rid of this dusty dust? I squish it. Lightly. And since this dust is dangerous to breathe, just try to tap it the best I can to get it out of here. Oop, a lot fell out. Sorry, I can see well with this camera on my face. You know what? No, I am gonna draw something. I'm gonna draw an apple. Because that's the only thing I know how to draw every single time I test something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show you the science of an apple. So I don't know how to go with soft pastels, but usually with oil pastels, I start with the darks. I'm gonna do this really, really fast. Do some cross hatching. And let's grab that black. So make it dark, especially on the edges. Now let's grab our main color, which is gonna be red, of course. So apples have like a flat roof, so I'm gonna make that flat roof. Right here, apples usually have a stem right here, so that's the line 4. And the apples that I like have vertical lines to show how juicy and fat they are. So I do like having those lines. Just try not to put them everywhere, because they're gonna look a little bit fugly. Again, more color. And the shadow, as you can see, is here, and the light will be over here. So, and a little bit on the center, because since apples are round, there's always a shine in the center of a round object, semi-round object. Let's make it darker over here, lighter, roundabout. Now we start with a little bit of mixing. Let's grab Mr. Vermilion Black. Like Evised likes to add vermilion. I barely use vermilion. I don't like using much vermilion. You know what I mean? Oh, let's get stain already. Now that's what I don't like from soft pastels. Thank you very much. Let's make it a little bit dark on this. So we have... I don't know if I should post the whole process of me drawing an apple. I don't know how entertaining that is, to be honest. Now let's grab orange. This should be orange. So it's gonna be lighter. Go a little bit on the middle. Let's mix it up in some places. Make it a little bit random. Now let's go back again with yellow. Now yellow, of course, is gonna be... Oops, there was brown in the yellow. So we contaminated the yellow a little bit. More shiny places. Let's spread the yellow a little bit with the other guys. I really like this kind of apple that is yellowish, reddish. So I'm gonna put a little bit more yellow. Let's go back with the Mr. Brown. Put a little bit of shadow in there. And more shadow, again, on top of it. Some random lines, once more to show how thick and juicy this apple is. Let's go back red to mix once more this apple. I'm making the shadow very, very dark, and I don't know if I should, to be honest. So now I'm grabbing random colors over and over. Usually I have a reference image with me, but this time, since I don't, everything will come out of my imagination, the world of imagination. I'm gonna mix the colors a little bit more with yellow. Why? Because I like yellow on this apple. And mix it all up, all the colors, in a very, very fine layer. Looking good, looking good. I don't know if I can make a little bit of the finger. Should I? Nah. This paper is not very good paper, so it's gonna look a little bit off. Now let's go with the details with a little bit of black. This black would like to be present. Just a little bit of the edges, not completely all of it. You know, here and there. Some edges are thinner, some edges are thicker. Now let's do Mr. Shadow. Mr. Shadow has to start wherever I put the actual other shadow. So this is technically round. I'm gonna make a round shadow. And this shadow not necessarily has to be completely black. So I am gonna mix it a little bit with brown. Because why the heck not? You know what I mean? What else? Who cares? Gonna make really dark some points. Very, very few points. I'm not liking all this dust. Now let's go with what people call highlights, I guess. Now let's white it up. Just a smudge here. Little smudges somewhere where a little bit of white goes. A little bit of very, very white spot, random white spot, because that happens. And now the stem. I forgot about the stem. So since it has a little bit color in that background, I'm gonna start with black. So that color won't show up. Then on the top of it, act with brown and a little bit tiny incy of red. Because you know, bark is sometimes reddish. I think that's it. Let me tap it so we can get rid of that dust. Because I can't see with all that dust. So there you go. An apple. I don't know if this is satisfactory enough. The amount of times I made an apple and I still cannot make a decent apple is astonishing. I hope you like it. There's a tiny incy width of what I do when I'm drawing. You know, as you can see, I tapped it and, you know, color got out. Very dusty. Well, I smooched it in the beginning, but later I could cover up very easily. It's very layerable. As you can see, the layers are really, really good. I'm very happy about that. You know, the colors are very mixable very easily because, of course, they're soft pastels. Why wouldn't be? And the white performs very, very good on top of other colors, of course. And the black, of course, is very, very black. As you can see immediately the stripe of black that I put on, and just a little bit of black makes a big difference in other points. With all that we learned from today, you saw how much dust and particles and from the wood came out. Oh, by the way, this is the end result. It's pretty good to sand your pens if you want to protect the color, because you can choose the amount of pressure, where to put it, and you know, it's really, really good technique. Just that your hand gets a little bit tired from all that. I heard in a soft pastel tutorial that you're not supposed to breathe in all this dust. All this dust actually is dangerous for you. It's not that it's toxic per se, it's just not good for you to breathe on. dust constantly, especially for an artist, and that's the dangers with soft pastel. That's why I quit it on the big blocks of soft pastels, and I prefer these small ones. And even with this, you saw the amount of dust and particles everywhere. It is quite a bit. So if you have asthma and all that kind of jazz, you can do so, but only if you have the right equipment to use this. Because for me, myself, this is why I only use them for detailing. It is not something that I would like to involve my health with. I'm already a very sickly person on its own, so no thank you. And also there is the cross contamination, like I call it. They move around, you touch them, they move more. You put the pen down, it stains wherever you put the pen down. And fair enough, that happens a little bit with oil pastels too, but nothing like soft pastels. This is literally chalk. These pens, like you saw right here, are a little bit different from normal soft pastels because they are quite vibrant, and that's what I like. Not all artists like really vibrant colors. See ya.